Records reflect that this meeting is starting at 7:19 on March 11, 2014. Welcome, everyone. Roll call, please.
Mayor Thundro.
Here.
Councilman Bieneme.
Yeah.
Vice Mayor, I'm sorry, Councilman Galvin.
Here.
Councilwoman Stahel. Councilwoman Keys. Vice Mayor Bieneme.
Yeah.
We have a quorum to conduct the meeting, Mayor.
Thank you. Let's all stand up. We're going to be led to the Pledge of Allegiance by Brendan Gee from Johnson & Wales University, and then Ms. Akura Scott, who will lead us toward the invocation.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Remain standing, please.
Good evening. Congresswoman Karen Meek, all of us know, would always begin or end her comments by saying, service is the price that one must pay for the price that God has given us to occupy. We're all here to serve, and I want all of you to remember that that's what it's about. That's the important thing. That's service to others. Let us pray. Father God, we come before your throne of grace and mercy with thanksgiving. We come humbly, boldly, thanking you for this evening, thanking you for those in attendance, thanking you for the mayor and the council, Father God. Thank you for all of us, Father God, you've put here to serve. We thank you, Father God, for allowing us to humble ourselves and to come boldly, Father God, to your throne of grace and mercy, thanking you for the opportunity to be at service to others. We thank you for your goodness. We thank you for your mercy. We thank you for your love. And we ask that everyone here would learn to love one another, regardless of the differences. Love is the most important. In the name of the Father we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Ms. Scott. Mr. Manager, are there any deletion to the agenda?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I would like to make an amendment to the agenda. First of all, I'd like to note that in the original agenda post online, it had a tab C. We have updated the online version. Tab C is a quasi-judicial item, and it was has been placed under item 10C. Also, pertaining to the MOCA discussion, tab H, I requested that be moved up to after the consent agenda.
Thank you.
To add to the consent agenda?
No.
To be moved up after.
Oh,
the
after.
consent,
Okay.
yes.
I thought I heard add to the consent agenda.
After.
Thank you. Special presentations. Vámonos, there's plenty. Let's go. Thank you. Aha. We know that the month of March is the Women's History Month, and this year, the next council meeting, we will be honoring women in our community who have made a difference. We will leave it for the end of the month instead of doing it today. but I'm inviting the MOCA youth teams and teachers of the youth program of MOCA to come up for a presentation and a photograph. We have a wonderful group of students from MOCA that we would like to recognize. Councilman Galvin and myself have been participating in the event that they have been doing. We have a proclamation as well for later on today, but I think this youth deserves to be recognized. And it says, in recognition of the art education emphasis in the program that help encourage middle and high school students to develop their creativity, new skills, and preparation for higher education. Your program also participated in the Peace Flag in the Winds project, which will tour different parts of the world and be presented at the Rosa Parks Museum. Your initiative in North Miami is held at the highest regards, presented this 11th day of March 2014. This youth, we saw the flags, and this flag have been around the world. It's going to continue to travel. Flag been to Haiti, it's been to several countries, and the flag will rest at the Rosa Parks Museum. It is something that is worth looking at and looking for, and these youth here are very talented, and I would like to congratulate all of you. Thank you for being here. And as we continue with the recognition, we do have a proclamation for Peace Flag in the Wind. As you all know, I don't do proclamations unless it's something that is very meaningful. And I would like to have the team for the Flag in the Wind to come forward, please. The most important part of this, the important is that when you ask us the same question to 2 million people, you're going to have 2 million answers as of what is the definition of peace for you. And with the flag that they have created that has been traveling around the world, he's going to be telling you where the flag has been and how many students have created that flag. They all have a definition and an image that reflect peace. That's what makes it so different and so important. And the fact that they have taken their time to go around the world and bring that message makes it even more worthwhile. And of course, the flag, as I said earlier, is going to go to the Rosa Parks Museum, which is very significant. And this proclamation says, whereas the founder of Peace Flags in the Wind is Mr. Joseph Lawrence Vasile, and whereas Peace Flags in the Wind is to be commended for its international traveling arts installation. And whereas Mr. Vasile positively presents and connects the youth of North Miami through the universal language of the art. And whereas the Museum of the Contemporary Arts, MOCA, Junior Docent, a class created Peace Flags and Tapes Culture Workshop, creating socially conscious artwork that coincides and celebrate the 50th anniversary of the 1964 Civil Rights Act. And whereas the Peace Flags in the Wind were featured at the North Miami Public Library during the month of February in honor of Black History Month. And whereas the work created will travel to Haiti in August 2014, for the second time, and will also be displayed at the Rosa Parks Museum in Montgomery, Alabama, to honor the life and legacy of Rosa Parks, who proved that one act of peace and nonviolence can bravely change the world. Now, therefore, in consideration of the foregoing, I, Lucy M. Tondreau, Mayor of the City of North Miami, on behalf of the City Council and residents, do hereby proclaim March 11, 2014 to be Peace Flags in the Wind Day. Congratulations.
Can the MoCA teens come up and accept the proclamation with us, please? This concept just started with the seed, and it was just a thought, and it's reached so many people. And like the mayor said, no two people are the same. No two people want the same thing or have the same vision for their life. And this project is an embodiment of that concept and respecting the differences and the variety and the beautiful oneness that really does exist, and just connecting to so many, because everybody connects to love and happiness, and everybody wants food and health and happiness for their loved ones in whatever way that they see it. And I'm honored to be here, especially with the talent, and having the gallery be presented as the Rosa Parks Corner is beyond incredible, because if you dream it, you could live it, and if you believe it, it happens and it transcends out. And if it's true and genuine, it really will go as far as that pebble is, and it's just like a thought as it radiates out into the universe. And I'm honored that the flags are going to go back, and Miss Elsie Craig, the president of Children of Haiti Enhancement Foundation, is here to bring the flags back. They wrote a Peace Flags in the Wind song that is going to be sung again with now 6,000 flags, and over the summer. So, and the teens at MoCA have a great idea and a great concept to bring shoes there that was inspired by one of the lectures that I gave there, and we're going to work very hard to make that happen and become a reality for them and for the kids of Haiti. So thank you.
Good luck. Congratulations again. Thank you. Oh. And in recognition of National Nutrition Month, I would like to invite Julia Onihei, a representative from Alliance for a Healthier Generation, to come up and receive the recognition from Mayor and Council. It says, North Miami recognizes Alliance for a Healthier Generation in honor of National Nutrition Month, in recognition for providing healthy eating options to after-school programs, facilities, and community centers. Your collaboration with the City of North Miami Parks and Recreation Department in promoting healthy eating skills, youth participation, and nutrition education is held at the highest regards. Presented this 11th day of March 2014. Thank you.
Good evening. On behalf of the Alliance for a Healthier Generation, I am absolutely delighted to receive this certificate of recognition. However, I would also like to honor the amazing staff from the City of North Miami's Parks and Recreation Department, especially Mr. Derek Corker here in the room with us. Ms. Annalisa Walker, and the other staff who work for the Parks and Recreation's after-school programs at Sunkist and Griffin. It's an absolute honor to be collaborating with the City of North Miami on our Healthy Out-of-School Time initiative, which recently received recognition from First Lady Obama. Thank you so much for this honor, and Happy Nutrition Month.
No, it's okay. Stuff is right here. I don't want to be shorter.
Thank you. Thanks again. Congratulations. Thank you. That concludes our special presentation for today. Thank you all. Mr. Manager, city events, please.
We're going to invite our Public Information Officer, Pam Solomon, to come and provide city events in the upcoming weeks. Pam?
Thank you, Mr. Manager. Good evening, everyone, and to our viewers at home on NoMi TV 77. I'd like to share with you a few of our upcoming event highlights for the month of March 2014. Starting off with tomorrow evening, Wednesday, March 12th, we have another family night at the library event that is entitled More Than Orange Blossoms, Florida's Pioneering Women. And this is also an event that celebrates National Women's History Month. It's a free family night event that is sponsored by the Friends of the North Miami Public Library, and it features storyteller Carrie Sue Ivar with true life stories about extraordinary women who have laid the foundation here in the state of Florida. So please join us tomorrow evening, Wednesday, March 12th, at the North Miami Public Library, located at 835 Northeast 132nd Street, and that program kicks off at 6 p.m. This Thursday, March 13th, we have a celebration of women in honor of National Women's History Month. This event is hosted by Councilwoman Maria Lansteril to celebrate women that have made an impact in their fields throughout our community. We ask that you contact the Office of the Mayor and City Council at 305-895-9815 to RSVP to attend this event. This Thursday, March 13th, at 6 p.m. at the Mocha Paradise Courtyard, located at 770 Northeast 125th Street, of course, right next door to City Hall. And this event is free. We just ask that you RSVP so we have a count of our attendees. Once again, that's a celebration of women in honor of National Women's History Month. This Saturday, March 15th, we have another one of our family fun days. The Walk This Way Family Fun Day activity will be held at the North Miami Athletic Stadium, located at 2555 Northeast 151st Street. It kicks off bright and early at 7 a.m. We're out there from 7 to 9 walking the track at the North Miami Athletic Stadium. And if you haven't already joined Mayor Lucy Tondreau in the challenge to take 1 million steps toward better health, we invite you to take that challenge, to come out to one of our, bring your family out to one of our Walk This Way Family Fun Days, or we also have self-guided walks at our parks 3 nights during the work week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at our various parks. You can find more information on our website at www.northmiamifl.gov/celebrate. This Sunday, March 16th, it's a very busy week, as you can see, we have the North Miami Concert Band, which is an ongoing series from September through May each year, and they provide concerts to the community from 2 p.m. until 4 p.m. It's the best entertainment value in South Florida. The doors open at 1 p.m. at the Gwen Margolis Community Center, located at 1580 Northeast 123rd Street. And of course, the North Miami Community Concert Band is a not-for-profit organization comprised of volunteer musicians performing with the support of the City of North Miami and the Miami-Dade County Department of Cultural Affairs. For details, you can visit northmiamiconcertband.com to find out the information on upcoming concerts as well. Next Wednesday, March 19th, Causeway Village will host a community meeting. The developers of a new development that is slated for 1850 Northeast 123rd Street. It's just east of Biscayne Boulevard, right on 123rd Street, behind the Walgreens shopping plaza there. If you're interested in finding out more about this development and what's planned for that, please come out to North Miami City Hall Council Chambers, where we are now. Next Wednesday, March 19th at 7 p.m., there will be a community meeting where the developers will present their plans and you can give your input on that. So once again, that's Causeway Village Community Meeting. It's regarding the upscale project planned for 1850 Northeast 123rd Street. And that will take place here in the council chambers of North Miami City Hall, 776 Northeast 125th Street at 7 p.m. On Thursday, March 20th, the North Miami Chamber of Commerce, along with other local chambers, are hosting a Biz Bash Expo. It's a tabletop expo from 4 to 8 p.m. at the Florida International University Covens Conference Center, located at 3000 Northeast 151st Street, of course, on the campus of FIU Biscayne Bay. You can shop over 100 businesses that will be there at the showcase, showcasing their products, showcasing their services. These are all local businesses that are members of our local chambers, so we invite the community to come out to BizBash Expo to learn more about their businesses and also support local business. The event will also have food trucks and entertainment, health and diagnostic screenings, and fabulous raffle prizes and giveaways. For more information, visit bizbashexpo.biz. That's B-I-Z-Z, bashexpo.biz. And more information is also on our community calendar on the city's website. On Saturday, March 22nd, we are hosting a Native Plant Day through collaboration with the Dade County chapter of the Native Plant Society. That'll take place at the Elaine Gordon Enchanted Forest Park, located at 1725 Northeast 135th Street, from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. This is an education day with activities for all ages. They have plant giveaways, raffles, art programs, and a lot more. It's free for the community. For more information, you can visit our website at northmiamifl.gov/parks to find out about Native Plant Day. And this is the 19th annual event that they've hosted here in Miami-Dade County. And last but certainly not least, the American Cancer Society's Relay for Life North Miami is coming back to North Miami Saturday, April 5th through Sunday, April 6th. If you're not familiar with Relay, Relay is an overnight community event that is put together to contribute to cancer research in terms of fundraising, but also get the community involved in honoring cancer survivors and get teams involved in participating and helping to raise funds for cancer research. This year's event will take place at Griffin Park, located at 12220 Griffin Boulevard. 3 p.m. is the opening ceremony on Saturday, April 5th. 6 p.m. is the Survivor Walk, and 9 p.m. is the Luminaria ceremony in honor of those that lost the battle to cancer. So for more information, we invite you to visit the website, register a team today. If you have a social group, a service group, a church group that you're affiliated with here in the North Miami community, please get involved and register a team to participate in this year's Relay for Life. And that can be done online at relayforlife.org/North Miami FL, or you can contact our Relay for Life coordinator, Vanessa Pineda, at 305-779-2877. Thank you.
Thank you. There's never a dull moment in the city, isn't it? Wonderful. Thank you so much. And I am encouraging all of you to be part of it. We have, back in October, planted the gardens on Griffin Park. Thank you. In Griffin Park for the breast cancer survivors and for those who have passed. We're still accepting plants. We would like to see more flowers, and each of those plants carries somebody's name, a woman's name, and we would like to see more plants into it. And we are asking you, we have a team in the city of North Miami that will be part of that Relay for Life. And is going to be city employee and city council, and I'm sure the two people that are in best shape in this council is probably Councilman Galvin and myself.
Come on.
So we are ready to, if you keep on walking with us 3 times a week and that big bash, you will be probably fit enough to do that April the 5th. And we are, Madam Deputy Manager, what is the goal that we have to reach, how much money we have to raise?
Madam Mayor, the city as a whole need to raise $17,000.
$17,000, which is not too much. I see many former mayors here and former elected officials. I'm sure with their contribution and their help, we should be able to raise that money in 3 weeks. Am I okay, Mr. Premier? Mr. Stembridge? Mayor Pierre? There we go. We can do it. Hey, Mayor Wallen as well. There we go.
Kevin Burns is here.
Is he?
Yep.
Mr. Burns? No, he's not.
In the hallway or something.
No. Cancer is something that we have to take very seriously, and this, I believe, I've known so many people in the past couple of years that have died of cancer. It's becoming almost the #1 killer, and if we can do anything to help the survivors and search for cure, we're all for it. And the city will be actively participating in it. And we have our purple thing here, and you scratch. It's up to $20 in these. You scratch. The one that you choose is the amount of money that you contribute. It's between $1 to $20. But you are welcome to give more money. Thank you. So as I said that, I have to recognize our former mayors that are here tonight. I have Mayor Stembridge. Please stand up so you can be recognized. Thank you for being here. Mayor Howard Primer. Long time friend. Mayor Frank Wallen.
What is this, a mayor reunion?
Mayor Attorney André Pierre. Mayor Mike Kolodny. I see Councilman Marcellus. I know Councilman Jacques Despinos was here. Mr. Despinos?
In the hallway.
It's probably in the hallway. Anyway, I would like to welcome you all. Thanks for being here. We're going to open citizen forum. Everybody, each person, you have one thing? Am I missing something?
Yes, we have the presentation, the budget presentation, and Keith and Schnarr.
Oh, you want to do it before citizen forum? Because our mayors that are here, I wouldn't like
we can
for them to
postpone
be
that.
here too long. Can we postpone it?
Well, not postpone it. You
We
have
can
to,
postpone it if you want, because I would like,
Well-
really, this is an honor for us, under the same roof, to have so many past elected officials here. And I think that should be our priority.
Sure.
I would be, is the budget presentation a must for today?
Keith and Schnarr's is a must, but not the budget. I
Why
can
is it a must?
just to pick up the synergy from the CRA meeting.
No, I can wait. There's no emergency. We have VIPs in-house.
Well,
We have VIP, Mr. Manager, in-house.
there's a charge for
Yeah, you
Keith and
pay
Schnarr's, but it's,
Yep.
And the budget presentation, does it have to be done today?
no, we can wait on that, but I do highly recommend Keith and Schnarr's, and if you would like for them to wait till after the consent agenda, they probably could.
Oh. Former Mayor Joe Celestin is here as well. Mr. Celestin, welcome.
And perhaps maybe the mayors would like to see the presentation of Keith and Schnarr's to buy into it.
Okay, we only gave her 5 minutes, and I don't
Sure.
think 5 minutes is enough
Sure.
for her to detail everything that she wants to do.
Sure.
That's why I was hoping that we could, in a future date, give her the opportunity to do a proper presentation with all the mayors there, because I know their dreams, they are very passionate about it as well. This is my thing. You want to do a brief presentation and then come back again next council meeting? Debbie?
Because they're charging us whenever they come.
The charges?
Of course. They're
Well,
consultants.
it's
so
all a part of
Can
the
we get a rain
contract.
check? Is it okay for us to have a rain check?
For this, I'm only going to give you take 5 minutes of your time.
Okay, turn on your mic, please. I'm not hearing you well. Can you please turn on your mic?
There we go.
There,
There you go.
thank you.
Thank you. Can you bring up the PowerPoint, please? All right, great. This is going to be a brief 5-minute presentation because last time that you all saw me at the first council meeting, we were talking about the action plan, the importance and what it does and how it identifies and prioritizes the projects for the downtown as well as the entire master plan. Since then, we have had a kickoff meeting with staff, have started work on working on the action plan. Tonight, I'm here to present to give you an update. One of the things that we're going to be talking to you briefly tonight is about the creation of the Downtown Advisory Committee. And that is really a group of folks that are going to, as we talked about before, they're the ones that are going to be promoting and carrying through the implementation of the master plan through the life of the projects. So they're a very important group of folks. Following that, we're going to do the community planning meetings. As we talked about before, we're going to finish the pricing of the capital projects and then complete the draft and finalize the action plan itself. Talking a little bit about for tonight, what we really want to let you know is where we're at. We are at the point of providing you with the categories for the Downtown Action Plan Advisory Committee folks. And remember the last time I talked to you about the importance of having DOT sitting at the table. Also, the Regional Transit Authority, because of the FEC transit station that will be coming on to 125th. Very important to have them on board. Film industry representatives. Downtown property owners is going to be important, as well as downtown business owners, and we're recommending at least 2 folks from that group of stakeholders. A representative from the Business Development Board, Arts and Cultural, and then we think it's very important for you to have a commercial real estate broker who has a development background to be sitting on this advisory board as well. An architect, engineer. Education, you have a lot of educational facilities here in the city, and so as we talked about before, it's going to be important to have representation, and we're going to recommend 2 folks to sit on that. A North Miami resident, a member of the Chamber of Commerce who is selected by the board itself. Nonprofit, service agency, or religious community, we recommend that you have 2 folks that represent those. And then city staff, now they're going to be non-voting ex officio, but they're going to provide support for the advisory board. They'll everything from budget to public involvement to planning, they're going to need that type of support. And that is really what I'm here to talk to you about tonight, to get your direction on moving forward with that particular task to get those board members established. And what we'd like to find out from you all is, do you feel that that is sufficient, the list that you have in front of you? We'll be bringing you back some names and as well as their bios of suggested folks to serve. And we've actually had a lot of people who have expressed interest that they do want to serve. So those are the things that we'll be bringing back to you at another time. City staff will be working closely with you all on those names. Now, one of the things that you all talked about during the CRA process is knowing where we're going. One of the next steps is going to be very important, that you're going to have an architect come before you to talk to you about helping you to get from where you want to get, where you are to where you want to go, and creating that vision. The conceptual plan is going to be important. We talked about that before because that is going to provide that guide for the downtown, the look, the vision, what you want in the downtown, the placement, all the ideas that you want to include in that. And that requires a lot of community input and a lot of buy-in from the community as well as ideas from them. It's really then becomes almost like a compact between you, the residents, those who use the downtown, as well as the regulatory agencies like DOT, for example. And then it really, this conceptual plan is going to have that 30,000-foot view, where you're going to say, look, this is the vision that we have. Here are the kind of projects that we want to see coming into the downtown. It doesn't focus necessarily on one individual project at a time, because that's kind of haphazard. This provides a program. And then finally, it gives you that roadmap from, as I said, from getting where you are to where you want to be. One thing I'm going to tell you on this screen right here is that the conceptual plan will be the legacy of this city council. When L'Enfant did the Washington, D.C. vision plan, he envisioned what D.C. was going to look like. But nobody remembers what who the developers are were of Washington. They remember L'Enfant and his vision. That's the legacy that you all will be leaving to this community. Now, Delray, you all visited 2 cities. They each had a conceptual plan. Delray did not have architectural guidelines. However, they did have a conceptual plan. Their conceptual plan looked at everything from how the public square is going to look, everything to the building placements, how wide the sidewalks are going to be. You also looked at, I'm going to back up here, I'm going a little fast here, Fort Myers. Fort Myers, this is their downtown waterfront master plan. This is what they put together. Now, every single project that they have implemented is implementing that vision. You all saw that. This is a rendering of what the River District looks like. And as you continue to look at their plan, every single project that they put into place puts that vision and implements that vision. Now, even Hollywood, for that park, they had a plan. And it showed the downtown. The thing is going faster than me, so I apologize. It showed what they wanted in that park, and as a result of having that plan and that vision, they created all the recreational facilities in Young Arts Park. Now, where are we? What are the next steps going to be? Well, we completed the project kickoff with staff. We have also completed now the presentation, and we are asking you for some direction on Task 3, the creation of the Downtown Action Plan Advisory Committee. We'll be then scheduling some community planning meetings. We will then be continuing to work on the pricing for all the capital projects that are included in that master plan. We'll be drafting and finalizing the master plan. So we wanted to let you know that there's action, there's movement going on where we are in that process.
And just wanted to add to that, so you see that we're on task. We, as staff, gave you those categories recommended by Keith and Schnars. We're asking council to give us your recommendations in those categories. Once you do that, we will be providing bios and giving that back to you within the week to come. And at the next council meeting, we will be taking recommendations as to who you would like to put in those recommended categories, or whether you want to keep the categories, eliminate some of them. But we strongly recommend that you take the recommendation of Keith and Schnars as to those categories. Those individuals will then lead us into the vision and getting with the community and going further there in that process. So we're on board, we're on task, but also keep in mind that we are, and you will hear of other opportunities that we're meeting. There are businesses that are meeting with us, business owners downtown. There's a lot of connections that we're making that we will also be coming back to this council to show what they are willing to do that would also fit in this downtown development plan.
Yeah, I have a problem with the even number, 16. I think it's problematic. And I think from the get-go, because this downtown development project cannot be one person's vision, and I believe all the former mayors of the city should be involved, should have their word and their vision implemented, and their imprints have to be there. It's not about me or anybody. It's about the city of North Miami, the progress of the city. There have been mayors of the city. I'm sure if they were able to back then, they would have done it long time ago. Now they have the opportunity to bring their insight. I think all of those who are willing to should be part of that board. That's my recommendation.
And I think Keith and Schnars, that any additions that the council would like to see, that's fine.
As long as they don't charge us extra for the additional board members. But I really believe that the former mayors should be involved in it. It's something that, it's a legacy. And it has to have everybody's imprints.
For the action plan, we'll be having community meetings. For the conceptual plan, when that comes before you, part of the development of the conceptual plan will be a series of meetings that everyone will be invited to. So you can make special arrangements to send special invitations to all the mayors for them to attend as well. And we'll make sure to work that.
No, I don't want it to be like an everyone thing. I want them to be an integral part of what's going to take place in downtown. Sending an invitation is nice, of course we will always do, but I want to hear what they have to say. I want to see their vision in that downtown plan as well. It's important for the legacy of this city. 88 years of existence, the city have a past. And in order for us to move forward, you have to look back. And to look back, to move forward, they were part of the past, and I want them there.
We could add that category
Thank
to
you.
have a representative of the past mayors,
Okay.
who will then get with the other mayors to ensure that that process and their input is put there.
Thank you. Any question, comments?
The only caveat I might add, Madam Mayor, is that the categories and the numbers of members we understand is fluid until it's set. I like what you've proposed tonight, but when we really hash this out in another 2 weeks or so, we may decide that we want more of X or fewer of Y. So when we make that motion, just remember, we get to make that final decision,
That's
and
right.
what we're approving tonight isn't set in stone.
That's correct. This is just a recommendation. The categories are a recommendation from the consultants. There's a reason why each category is brought to the table. But how many people and that sort would be left up to the council.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Good. Thank you so much, Debbie.
Thank you.
I have to keep recognizing people. I see people from the media. I see Monsieur Saint-Surin. Wow, he never goes anywhere. He's here tonight. Monsieur Alex Saint-Surin from Radio Mega. Thanks for being here, Alex. Monsieur Manuel Alvarez from HAP 1580 WSRF. And of course, we have Chen Chen, who is always there. Thank you, from WLQY. Thank you. And of course, we have Mr. Buto from the Miami Herald. Any other member of the press that are here that I didn't see? No. Thank you all for being here. Now we're going to open Citizen Forum. We're going to...
Is the clerk has a TV?
Stop. Mr. Clerk,
I'm missing.
Councilwoman Key Sterrell wants you to be recognized as a member of the press because you have a brand new TV show.
Oh, thank you.
He is no member of the press.
Hey. Give
Just
the men credit, okay?
You don't read the Herald?
I don't want to go there.
We're going to open Citizen Forum. We have 2 minutes each, and then we are going to move on with the consent agenda and bring the MOCA item as discussion.
Hi, William Previtel, 11950 North Bay Shore Drive. Wanted to follow up on the presentation immediately preceding me. Really appreciate all the effort that was put forth in this and all the potential that our city has. I do want to bring, as I've said before, I'd like to bring attention to the possibility of having a database here at the city of city maps, photographs, other information about the city that could be then made available to colleges and universities, schools of architecture, urban design, landscape architecture, could be even industrial design, could be interior design, could be graphic design, that we have this database that they could look online, they could get this information, and the instructors could put together projects for these various groups, which could be submitted to the city at little or no cost to us, that we could have then ideas raised, and we could have a public forum, possibly hold it in MOCA, and have possibly a reception or something around that, which would be awareness, consciousness raising. It would also bring out ideas. It would bring attention to certain things that we, the professional crew may not be, or even the residents may not be aware of, and it'll really give a broad range of ideas and a broad range of investigation if we do this properly, for free. And what we could do is just award basically paper awards, first, second, third prize, whatever it might be. And it's a real great payback and a real great way of getting a lot of people interested in the topic and to get our minds, moving in that direction of what the potential is. So I appreciate your consideration in forming that database and somebody formalizing it to get invitations out to these various schools. I'd be glad to assist if anybody has any questions how that might be done. Thank you.
Thank you. Citizen Forum is still open. I would suggest those who wants to speak to move forward, because I'm ready to close it.
Hello, Ron Rubin at 130, 155 Northeast 6th Avenue. The city's considering adopting landlord registration program, which is contingent upon inspections of individual dwellings. And I've read this, and the way it reads is that every current tenant in a multifamily building, 2 units or more, every single one, and every future tenant would have to submit to an inspection of their home. Now, as a landlord, the way I read it, I'm responsible to get their consent. Now, there's no legal obligation on the part of a tenant to give consent to have an inspection of their personal space. And in reading the body of this, there's a lot of inconsistencies in what right the city has and what right the tenant has and what right I have for the private property, which is what a residential property is. It's private property. The city has the right to certain inspections, but when you're entering the dwelling space of a tenant, you can't do that without obtaining their permission. I can't be expected to let the city inspector in with a key because I'm entering somebody's private space. Landlord-tenant law doesn't permit me to go in there without a specific reason. And minimum housing inspection is not a reason. Okay? Now, I'm sure the city doesn't want to become known as the city that is so concerned with its residents that it's willing to invade their privacy to prove their concern. But that's the way I'm seeing it. And there are many other issues within the body of this ordinance, and I'm hoping you're going to have an attorney read it to understand how it compares to not only our Constitution, but state. And, I mean, after all, if somebody comes to rent an apartment from me, and they decide they'd like to move in, okay, I have to inform them that they need to consent to something they don't have to.
Your time is up. Thank you.
That's great.
And I think it's very insulting because our city attorney prepared that revision of the chapter 5. It's very insulting of you to say that we should have an attorney look it up.
Well,
if there's any concern, and Madam Keys, who's also an attorney, a real estate attorney, work on it. And I think it's very insulting for you standing there suggesting what you just did. Please have a seat. Thank you.
Well, I appreciate
Citizen
your comment.
Forum is still open.
Mayor, did you want people who want to address the museum issue to speak now or to wait until you call the item?
Yes, to wait, please. Thank you. Citizen Forum is now closed. Do I have a motion for consent agenda? Do I have a motion for consent agenda?
I'm sorry, there's a confusion, and I just want to pick up on Citizen Forum.
Madam Mayor, as a point of privilege, may we reopen the forum for 2 minutes for Councilman Marcellus?
It's a precedent. Go ahead, sir.
Good evening. Jean Marcellus, 615 Northeast 139th Street. And I congratulate the council for last meeting for voted to remove the contaminated land at Biscayne Landing site. I went to the site. There was no movement. And I really don't know when the process will start. It might take some time. I understand it. In the meantime, what I want to the council to ask the developers is a simple thing. The time that it takes the process to complete, please ask the developer to cover that part of, you might say land, or you might say field, whatever you call it. Because it's about 15 to 20 feet higher than the trailer park that next to that field that's on the southbound on Biscayne Landing side. Last Thursday, it was very windy day. And you can imagine, if that field or land is contaminated, the first hand is going to get some damages from it is from the people at the trailer park. Even though the trailer park is not in North Miami, but is a part of our community. Please, that might cost a penny, dimes. ask the developers, in the meantime, take a plastic and cover the field that can protect these people next to it. Please, thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, for the consideration.
We have a motion for consent agenda.
We have a motion, Mayor. Councilwoman Sterry made a motion. We just need a second and a vote.
I second it.
Galvin.
Anyone wishes to record a no? Thank you. Discussion?
Tab H, Mayor. You want me to read it?
We're discussing the MOCA, yes.
Okay. Tab H, discussion regarding Museum of Contemporary Art, MoCA.
Thank you. Last Friday, the city manager, deputy city manager, myself, former mayor, why do I go blank? Premier, have had a meeting with the board of MoCA, meeting that we've been trying to have for the past couple of months. There have been rumors that since the Art Basel, that MoCA was going to move. And we wanted to know, the city manager have had a couple of meetings with them, and it was only just a rumor. And again, my good friend Wallen told me, Lucy, they are moving. So we had to go and sit down with the board and understand what it was all about. I know the concern and the importance of MoCA in the city of North Miami. MoCA around the world represents the jewel of North Miami. It is something that is part of our cultural life. And at the eve that we are planning of building a downtown, everybody knows part of a downtown is arts. And with the board, we were told that they were at the final stage of agreement with the city of Miami Beach. And we were a little bit tipped off by it because several questions have been asked by the city manager as of, is it true that MoCA is moving? They were saying it was only rumors. And I believe the role that the city play in MoCA, their partnership, would require the minimum for them to let us know before taking all these steps. And of course, from what we are hearing is that they are moving to Miami Beach, to the Bass Museum. The board of MoCA brought two reasons why they have decided to move. In my opinion, those reasons are not right. And of course, it's probably a way for us to fight among one another, which is not going to be the case. Right now, the city's arts future is at stake. And we're not going to be pointing fingers of who did what in the past and who didn't do what. Right now, we are into agreement to do everything that is in our possibility to ensure that the Museum of the Contemporary Art stays right here in North Miami. And if that requires for us to go as a delegation to speak to the mayor of Miami Beach, if that requires for us to demonstrate in Miami Beach in front of the Bass Museum, we will do so. So if they want to go, it's not going to be without a fight. And I believe that, City Manager, you have anything to add?
In this part of the discussion, the city attorney and I did provide the existing agreement as well as the ordinance so that the council can have a clear understanding of what that agreement is. And so tonight we will be seeking direction to how aggressive our approach should be in our next meeting.
Okay, can you explain to the people that are here and also to those that are at home watching, what is our participation with MoCA? What is MoCA in North Miami? Is it a group of people who have decided to move into North Miami, or MOCA, is it part of this body? You need to give us a background of the presence of MOCA and what is entail, what is their responsibility and what is our responsibility, please.
Sure. The contract, and if I may, I would like for the city attorney, because she has a good legal understanding of the contract, to better articulate that.
Thank you.
If I may.
Good evening, Mayor. So, as Mayor and Council are aware, you elect, appoint board members for various boards throughout the city, right? So one of the boards that not this particular Mayor and Council, but in the past, have appointed a board of trustees to govern MOCA, to govern the museum. So that board of trustees operates as the policymakers for how the museum runs and operates. For this particular board and this particular operation, the Board of Trustees does something that's a little unique to how boards usually run. They also manage and operate the museum. So for example, some of you may live in a condominium, and you know that the condominium may hire a management company, right? So the management company operates as the managers, and they run the association. So in this instance, the Board of Trustees, unlike most boards, they actually were hired by the city to manage and to run the day-to-day operations of the museum. In 2008, the city entered into an agreement, a management and operation agreement, with the Board of Trustees to run the operations of the museum. What did that entail? It entailed raising funds so that they can effectuate the mission of having a community museum. It entailed managing the books and the finances, opening up bank accounts, managing all the monies. It entailed purchasing and securing a permanent art collection. It also entails, of course, as we know, that they have revolving art collections that come and go throughout the museum and so on and so forth. So they run the management, the day-to-day operations. So with respect to whether they are leaving or not, or who is leaving or not, until I have a conversation with an attorney that represents the board, I don't know that we really know what that means. I don't know what MOCA is leaving means, because MOCA is a museum that's physically here. It's owned by the city. Certainly board members come and go all the time. So I think I need a little more clarification as to what that means in terms of MOCA is leaving before I can ascertain what impact and ramifications that has for the city.
Okay, so MOCA is working for us. We can fire the board. Can we?
So in the ordinance, which dictates the city's relationship vis-a-vis the board, there are certain ways that the council can remove board members from any board, including MOCA. Yes.
Thank you. Shall we open the forum? I know many people are here to speak. Please, those who wish to speak on behalf of this discussion item, you are welcome to do so at this point.
Good evening. My name is Frank Woland, and thank you, Mayor and Council, and thank all the other mayors and individuals who came out tonight. Frankly, I am heartened by the fact that the City Council appreciates how important MOCA is to our city, to the education of our children, and to the outreach programs and the magnet schools that we have, the museum magnet, to our business community, to our downtown, to the culture and the arts. And I've been around a long time, not as long as some, but I was around, and I have an appreciation for the Clodney family and the Center of Contemporary Art in the 80s and the 90s and the Layman's, and the idea of using HUD funds for a project to revitalize downtown, to bring a first-rate museum into an area that was at the time not a cultural area. and to educate the people of North Miami about art, and it has affected so many young lives in a positive way. Our city is being threatened, and the threat needs to be dealt with seriously. I don't have to talk to an attorney or figure out what the words "Mocha is leaving" means. I have a very good idea of what it means. And I have a very good idea that this is a serious threat and it needs to be dealt with decisively, not about figuring it out and reporting it, but it needs to, in my opinion, the city will be best served if the council directs the staff and the city attorney to act decisively. And if you give them the power to do whatever they need to do in a proactive way in order to make sure our museum stays. Frankly, as far as I'm concerned, we should call for the resignation of some of the people who are on the board of MoCA who would choose to be a part of another museum. That's what they should do. They should be a part of another museum. But our museum should stay. And if they don't choose to resign, then I would be perfectly happy to see this council, if it is so empowered, to, at your next meeting, ask them to come and tell us what they have in mind and what they did and why, and give them an opportunity to be heard. And then if they don't satisfy the council that they're acting in the best interest of MoCA and the members who are the members of this community, then they should be removed. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Woolen. Mayor Pierre.
Thank you, Mayor, council members. Andre Pierre, 2125 Northeast 125th Street, 121st Street in North Miami, Florida. Pleasure to be here before you. There's so much to say about the MoCA, the museum. I think Frank Golan covers most of those bases, but I have to say a couple of things about what's really happening with MoCA. For most of you, the time that I was with the city, we were invited to 3 separate continents to do presentations because of MoCA, presentation on what MoCA has done to this community. This plaque that is sitting right in front of you here, which is an All-America city, that we were known as one of the 10 best cities in the United States for 2010, although I continue to say it, one of the 10 best cities in the United States of America forever. But MoCA plays a major role in that plaque that you have received, always in your letterheads that you sent out, your proclamations. It's there, your certificates. In addition to that, as all of you know, we were invited to the White House by President Obama and Michelle Obama, where the museum received the recognition as one of the 10 best museums in the country. In addition to that, you know about 400 teachers and 7,000 students throughout our community. Because of that civic engagement MoCA has done in this community, there is no comparison. In regard to the board, there are a few things that I'm not sure if this is the current state of the board. I don't think there's a single member of this board that live in the city of North Miami.
That's correct.
I am not sure what happened. Maybe it's, when I was here, maybe I didn't take, any action on that. I think we let the board do what they know how to do best. But I think this board, this council should definitely get involved and be engaged with what's happening with the museum at this moment. We cannot allow the museum to operate without having a single North Miami resident. And I'm not even sure if there's a single North Miami business person or business in that board. My understanding, the board is full with filthy rich people. Maybe because that we don't have many rich people in the city of North Miami. I have no idea why we don't have that many board members that are resident of this city. My understanding is, if a board member wants to leave and go to Miami Beach, please, if you don't want to be here, that's no problem. We still love you, but, sometimes, we have to get a divorce, and this is the time to get the divorce, and we're moving to that area and get that divorce. So I think we cannot wait for them to tell us exactly what does it mean that they are moving, that they are merging, that they are going someplace else. I think we need to take that decision and make that decision that we are here. And tonight, I think, should be a celebration of MOCA, not just a discussion, but a celebration to let people know that we are here to stay and MOCA is not going anywhere. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Mayor Prima.
Stick around, Mayor Pierre. I first, indulge me if you would, Madam Mayor, I just would like to acknowledge the presence of a mayor here who was here previous to the construction of the Museum of Contemporary Art, and that's Mayor John Stembridge, and I would like to acknowledge him. Mayor, thank you. Every mayor would like to say a few words, but for the purpose of solidarity, I would ask all the mayors to join me here at the podium for a few moments, and that would be begin Mayor Kolodny, all of the mayors, please. Mayor Celestine.
You know I'm Facebooking this.
So,
You should go.
Hold on, I need to take a picture.
so
That's true.
actually, including the current mayor, if she would not mind. So, wait, Len, we have one, we have the actual, a continuous chain right here with no.
Everybody wants one of these.
I'm the only woman here, so I should be in the middle.
You should, absolutely, please, please.
Yeah, I need to get closer to my favorite mayor. Huh?
Better get this picture.
This was worth the ticket price tonight, huh?
You won't even be to your chair, so you'll all be tagged.
Okay.
Mr. Soray, in your budget, make sure you put a new camera for Pam.
Hold up. Come on, we need our staff. The one person here who's been with us forever. Come and part of the picture. You've been with all these mayors here. Go ahead, please. Yeah, she's that old.
27 is what you told me.
I remember in 1972.
Thank you, mayors.
Thank you, mayors.
Thank you. All right. So 18. Can you hear me? 1, 2, 3. 18 years ago, on a day very much like today, a sunny, beautiful South Florida day, I had the honor of overseeing a ceremony for the dedication of the Museum of Contemporary Art, MOCA. It was a fabulous day, a day where some of the quotes that I used that existed were hopes and dreams and aspirations of a community. We've heard gem, we've heard all sorts of wonderful words. How prescient, how perfect that we have today a few words, we'll follow up on that, but a few words of what will be a beautiful downtown North Miami. And I commend you, Mayor and Council, for this incredible movement that will be a reality, Mr. Manager, will be a reality, as you mentioned at the meeting. 18 years ago today, the dreams and hopes of a community still exist today. Still exist today. The treasure that you, the citizens of North Miami, have given the Museum of Contemporary Art. Time, energy, straining every budget year to provide funding, the treasure. And we have received, indeed, back from the museum accolades, international accolades, people that never knew North Miami existed in an urban setting. And that was the whole idea. We will hear finally from, after all of us, Mayor Kolodny, who will give the history of how the museum came about. This incredible, incredible situation that it's not downtown Miami. It's not Miami Beach. It's in urban North Miami. What else do we have in this area, in North Miami Beach, in Hallandale, in Hollywood? We are it. And that was by design. And that's where it stays. So again, Madam Mayor, I am privileged to be a part of this band of brothers and sisters, the mayors of North Miami, in the continuance and the continuation of this wonderful asset, the Museum of Contemporary Art. And it will continue.
Good evening, Kevin Burns, 2065 Alamanda Drive. As you can see, 18 years of administration has always worked with the MoCA Museum. MoCA belongs to the residents of North Miami. We've had some very dedicated trustees who've come along, who put their time and their money and their artwork to the MoCA Museum. But MoCA Museum has lost their way. It's kind of like a spouse coming home and saying, I'm leaving. I'm packing up and I'm just leaving. Well, what happened? Well, you don't send me roses, you don't dance with me anymore, you don't romance me anymore, I'm leaving. Well, that's the stage we're at now. We're not quite at the divorce stage where we start dividing up who gets what. MoCA belongs to this city. That's a volunteer board of directors. Somehow, as Mayor Andre Pierre said, we've let the trustees take over and dictate what happens here. And remember that MoCA is a department of the city. And we have city employees that work in that building that are paid by the city. The director was paid by the city until Bonnie left. The trustees' role, as I always knew, was to help secure money because the city gave a percentage and they raised additional funds. They knew the people to go after for the permanent collection. And it worked out very well. What the problem we have now is a lack of leadership over there. The city manager, unfortunately, and I spoke to him today about it, doesn't have the right to rein in the particular director that's over there now because they're being paid fully by the MoCA board. And I think that's a problem. The MoCA board director or the MoCA director should answer to our city manager as it's been for 18 years. And I believe changes need to be made almost immediately. Also, council members, we're not going to let the city of Miami Beach steal MoCA from us. We're not going to let the Bass Museum steal MoCA from us because they're coming and poaching. I know they've been fed some misinformation, but we're going to show them that MoCA is beloved by this community. It has benefited every walk of life in this community, and that they're being misfed information that North Miami doesn't want it. We do want it. We're going through a little marital spat. And if somebody wants to leave, and as been suggested, board of directors and so forth, they can leave. But I've spoken to some of their trustees and some of their big donors who do not want to leave, that they like North Miami. Some board members think Miami Beach is sexier and it's going to be this and that. Well, that may be true, but Miami Beach doesn't have the heart and the backbone that North Miami has, because we're all going to come together. And what I think this council should do tonight is to pass a resolution tonight, a 5-0 vote, saying that the city of North Miami is fully committed to MoCA and its future, and we will take whatever steps necessary to protect our asset that belongs to the city of North Miami and our residents, just like all the mayors and all the council members have for the last 18 years. And we'll show what this community is really all about. Thank you very much.
Good evening, Madam Mayor and Council. Joe Celestine, 13500 Northeast 3rd Court, former mayor of the city of North Miami. My recollection of MOCA when I serve here as your mayor is that the number of the people that serve on that board are very well known in the art community. For that reason, they have the know-how and the relationship with artists. They're all well-respected individuals. We own the building. The director worked for us. However, these are the individuals with the relationship and the connection to bring in the art into the museum. Let us follow the recommendation of Mr. Frank Rowland by having a real meeting with these individuals that are well known. As Mayor Pierre said earlier, I had the privilege to interact with few members of that board, and I know who they are. And we can let them know. The only reason that they want to take MOCA, they are not going to take our building or staff, but you got to realize what they want to do is to take out your art collection, or take out your folks that are in there, that are putting their art in your museum. Without them, without that type of relationship, you'll end up with the building and you'll have MOCA, but you'll have no art, and you'll be nothing without the relationship these people have. It is important for us tonight to sit down with them and find out why they decided to go to Miami Beach. Why not remain in North Miami? And what can we do to fix the problem, if there is one, and to keep MOCA that belongs to North Miami in North Miami? It's easy to say, let's just remove these individuals, but if you take them away, you take away the relationship, you take away the finance, and you take away the relationship I said before they have with the artist. They'll remove all the art from the building. You'll end up with the building, and that's all you'll have. So be very cautious as what you say tonight. And we're not going to be disrespectful. We are very grateful to these individuals. I know the chairwoman is the wife of Norman Boyman, used to be the chairperson. She is very deep in the art. She's a collector herself, and there are a number of other people that I know very well on that board that are very, very strong in the art community and very well respected. So we need to try to work with them and find a way to find a common ground and get a solution to that problem. We know that if they are living is because there is a reason as to why. We need to know why, and we need to find a way to fix it so we can keep MOCA in the city of North Miami. Thank you.
Thank you. The reason doesn't stand, Mr. Celestin. It's not something that I even want to entertain, because the reasons are so lame that I'm not going. I don't want to bring them up. I think we don't want to get into petty fight, and what they're looking for is for us to fight among us right here, when we are missing the biggest picture. And I'm not gonna go that route. Right now, the city that each of us represent in some capacity needs all of its citizens to come together and try to fight that battle. And we're gonna keep it as that. I'm not going to start the blame game, and this is what they said. That's exactly where they want to get us, to fight among us and forget the big picture.
Okay, but we're not fighting. We just want to sit with them to see if we can
I'm
reach an
telling you,
agreement.
we know the reason. They give us the reason, and I'm not going to entertain it.
Council and Mayor, I guess I'm responsible for a lot of this. I was the founding director of MOCA after running another nonprofit organization called COCA here in North Miami for 15 years. MOCA was a major dream. And because I am Luann Kolodny, the wife of Mike Kolodny, who has been a mayor here, I have two allegiances. One is to that wonderful museum that I helped create, and that has been the, if I can say, the gem, the cornerstone of what North Miami has become. And I also, even though we have moved out of North Miami, I still feel an enormous allegiance to the city of North Miami. That museum was conceived to create an art space north of Flagler. There was nothing here back in the 70s in North Miami. And we felt that the citizenry here, as well as all of the surrounding communities, needed to have an art organization that brought quality art to this area and educated our children and us. We used to have the garbage men come in for lectures, and we used to have the council and all of the members of our staff come in for lectures. And those are the things that MoCA was so wonderful to do. My allegiance is to both of you. I don't want to see MoCA fall. I don't want to see it swallowed up by the Bass Museum. I don't want to see it here without major leadership to continue in the vein that it is. I, like Mayor Burns, would really love to see the council pass a resolution that states how strongly you want this museum to stay in your community, that it is your asset, and that you will go and follow any ways that you can to maintain it in this community. The reason that's so important is we have heard that the members of the Miami Beach Council and people that are involved with the Bass have some qualms about taking our gem away from us. The entire art community is under the impression that the city of North Miami wants to kick the museum out and that they want to create other kinds of institutions in that space. This is the rumor that has been allowed to go on since Art Basel. I even was, shocked at the idea, because I know how close the museum has been in the relationship, that the marriage that's gone on between these two institutions for so long. And now to find out that in truth, they do want to move away. What we have to do is strongly approach this in a way of letting the entire arts community, those collectors, the artists that have supported us. I don't know if you all know, but there are two major art studios and complexes in North Miami where artists are working and selling work from there and bringing other people in. Why are they there? Because of MoCA. They were there before, but they have stayed because of MoCA. But to let the collectors and the financial people and the people with power in the rest of the county know that North Miami stands strong, that we want to keep that museum here. That message coming from this council at this time is going to make an enormous impact. I have spoken with one of the major donors to MoCA just today, who has donated over 40% of their collection. And she is, a matter of fact, the person that broke the rumor. Her name is Rosa de la Cruz. They have their own art space. They were partially responsible for Basel coming here. Rosa told me, after I told her what was going to happen tonight, to tell you, the council, that she gave that collection to this city. The reason I'm ecstatic by that. The reason we set up in the original agreements with the museum and the nonprofit organization in the city for the collection to belong to the nonprofit entity was because collectors universally do not give artwork to cities. They need that nonprofit status so that they can collect, whatever tax revenues they have. There's also the panache of having donated to a museum rather than to a city. So in order to build that collection, that is why that is in the ordinance, is that the collection does belong to that nonprofit. The Board of Trustees Initially, and this is historical, and I don't know if this has ever been changed in their bylaws, initially there were supposed to be 5 members of the North Miami community, either residents or business owners, on that board. And that was a check and balance measure. That was so a board couldn't do what they're threatening to do, and that was so that the city couldn't try to overtake what the museum was doing. Also be aware that the museum does hold an enormous status in the art world by having an American Museum Association accreditation. It's like a college having an accreditation for their law department. There are things that a city cannot interfere with in terms of how a museum is run if you're going to maintain that kind of status, such as trying to take over the entire programming and everything, which you all would not do. You've never done it, and you're not going to do it in the future. But those were things to try to get this museum to where it is in the scope of North Miami, Dade County, Florida, the United States, Europe. We have an international reputation. We are a tourist destination, and we want to keep that. Please pass that resolution and get the PR machine working. Thank you.
Thank you. Very good.
I guess Howard gave me the last billing. I spent 12 years of my life on that side of the microphone. I was first elected in 1971, which is a couple of years before the mayor was even born. And I was elected to the city council. I don't have to go back into the history of how we came to Mocha. In the mid-'70s, the wife of the local insurance man, the wife of the local blacksmith, the wife of the local plumber, came to us and said, we don't have any cultural facilities. We gave them and let them use what was then the water plant, which is right behind City Hall, 24 or 2,800 feet. Mocha started without the backing. 40 years ago, we didn't have Whitney's. We didn't have Vanderbilt's. We had the people in North Miami. And they worked at it every day. Volunteers, unpaid staff. The city would sweep it out and the city would pay the insurance, and these volunteers did everything else. Those beginnings are what you see behind this City Hall today. A facility designed by a world-famous architect who came to North Miami and accepted the commission because he wanted to see if he could do it. He had done the Guggenheim in New York. He had done international museums throughout the world. He wanted to see if he could do a small urban facility, and he did it. And that's what we have today. I don't have to reiterate what so many of the former mayors have said about the importance of Mocha to this community. Not just to the North Miami community, but to the entire South Florida community. Miami Beach has Joe Stone Crabs. Coral Gables has Miracle Mile. The city of Hialeah has Hialeah Racetrack. We've got Mocha. You know, as I said, I got elected in 1971, and when I got elected, there was a former mayor who went on to be a state senator, went on to be a county commissioner, Sherman Wynn. And he said to me, you've been elected. He says, 2 things I want you to always remember. This city has great people, and this city will always have great leadership. That's right. What you're exhibiting tonight is, I don't want to call it the fulfillment of his prophecy of over 40 years ago, but it is. I couldn't be more proud of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, Madam Mayor, Council, I happen to be the senior mayor here tonight. I won't go into all that history, but I will go into the present and the future. You've heard all of the other mayors speak very eloquently concerning Mocha. I would like to say that it is one of the gems of our community. Our community is blessed to have 3 universities within it. We have the major film studio where major motion pictures have been made right here on 16th Avenue. We've had Criterion Studios where the Bee Gees and the Estefans got their start. We have radio stations here. We have Channel 2 public television here. What we don't have, and what we didn't have when I was mayor, is a major central downtown business district. And Mayor, I've chatted a little bit with you, some of the other members of the council. When I was mayor, we hired the Rouse Company that developed the beautiful harbor in Baltimore, because I had a vision to try to enlarge the central business district. After we hired them, they were hired to do Bayside downtown. Unfortunately, we didn't have the members on the council to share the same vision of enlarging the central business district. And I want, as you also had, by the way, I spent a couple hours with Dr. Frank Schneidman yesterday, last week with the mayor with the community, the city attorney for the CRA, Steve Zellweger. And I would like to encourage this council not only to do as my former colleagues have said concerning MOCA, but I want, as Councilwoman Sterald so beautifully stated, consider a larger vision for this city, and that is to enlarge the central business district. Why? You cannot have a viable city with just a 2-lane 125th Street that we've had all of these decades. And I urge you, as I did former city councils, to consider a bold move, and that is to enlarge the central business district from 125th to 135th, Northeast 4th and Northeast 11th Avenue. Why would we do that? This city, in real estate, they say location, location, location. We are centrally located between 2 international airports, Hollywood, Fort Lauderdale, and Miami International. We're halfway between Port of Miami and Port Everglades. We have the egress. We have the ingress here. We have 95, 441, US 1, West Dixie, 6th Avenue. We have 6 points here, like a Star of David, like could become a future, like in New York. All roads lead to Broadway. All roads, as the Urban Land Institute, we should highlight this 6 points as a destination central shopping district. And as all of you, you're fresh, you're starting out, and you've heard my former colleagues speak here. I believe North Miami's brightest future is right here in front of us. And yes, MOCA is part of it, but we need a civic center where, and a decent city hall where you could have musicals, theatricals, trade shows, light sporting events to bring people down here. And I know you want to restore city life downtown, Mayor. This would help do it, but we've got to have a larger vision than what we have had. And I, for one, am here to say that I'm ready to back you 1,000% with all of you moving forward with such a vision, keeping MOCA, but enlarging and enhancing all of the gems that we already have. Thank you.
Thank you.